award or something, but I'm very privileged to be with you today. This is my second time participating in the EAH conference. And I want to thank Dr. Turman for the opportunity to present to you the outcomes of the Measuring Information Society report for 2017. Just to give you a quick background on the ITU, for those who don't know it, the ITU is the International Telecommunications Union, which is the UN organization responsible for ICTs globally. Yearly, the ITU issues the Measuring Information Society report, which mainly captures the new trends and ICT statistics in this field. It's considered a big resource for researchers as well, among other stakeholders, on the latest ICT statistics. This year, the report was actually published just around two weeks ago in Tunisia in the World Telecommunications Information Society symposium, international symposium. So my presentation will mainly focus on four areas: the current status of ICTs, the ICT Development Index, emerging ICT trends, and country profiles. I will also, throughout the presentation, I'll try to focus on the Arab region, given that I'm in the ITU Arab region office, and this is the conference with the Arab region as well. So without further ado, the latest report, the Measuring Information Society report, mainly highlighted the great progress that the world has seen in broadband. We're happy to report that currently there is over 50% of mobile broadband subscriptions in the world today, which is a great achievement. But on the other hand, you can look at the other half of the coin and figure out that just a little less than 50% of the people don't have mobile broadband subscriptions. So meaning that around 50% of the population of the world are still unconnected in terms of broadband, and this is something that all stakeholders globally should focus on trying to improve. Also, LTE or higher capabilities are available to most mobile users today. As you can see, there has been exponential growth in terms of, sorry, the graph is a little bit hazy, but I can try to explain it. This is the mobile network coverage throughout the years, starting from 2007 to 2016. The dark blue section is the LTE or higher users. The lighter blue is 3G and internet users. So mainly, as you can see, LTE or higher is gaining a lot of momentum, and you can expect that it will grow in growth exponentially over the coming years. Particularly as it empowers or as it becomes the backbone for new technologies, as will be presented in the coming slides. Also, more than half of the households worldwide now have internet access. What is evident in this diagram graph is that digital divide still persists among countries, between developing nations, between developed countries. As you can see, just in case you cannot see it, the yellow line is the LDCs, these developing countries. The blue line is the developed countries. In between, the orange line is the average world, and then developing countries, the green line. So the digital divide is still persistent, and some people argue that, according to statistics, obviously, that it is increasing. But it's not only increasing between countries. It's also increasing between age groups and between gender, men and women. Diagrams are self-explanatory, but combined they form the Information ICT Development Index, which we use to rank countries and to measure progress of ICTs in different countries around the world. So this year, for the first time, Iceland came on top of the list. It is, according to us, the most ICT developed country, and according to the IDI. Last year it was Korea, so Korea is in second place this year, followed by Switzerland, Denmark, the UK, Hong Kong, China, Netherlands, Norway, Luxembourg, and Japan. These are the top 10. And what's evident for us is that most of the countries that are developed in the IDI index are mainly European countries and Asia-Pacific countries. which correlates also to the fact that they are the most economically prosperous and most literate, have highest literacy rates and literacy rates as well. And mainly the citizens are well skilled in that regard. Hence, all these factors together create an enabling environment for ICTs to growth, and vice versa. ICTs does contribute positively and improve their IDI index. This is just a geographical representation of the IDI index globally. You can see that the red countries are the most, this is just an inverse relationship between, illustration of the geographical distribution that you saw. So that you can find that developed countries are generally have more than 6 countries, the value of the IDI index. And developing countries, you can find them less on the left side. Talking the improvement, the change from this part to this part. In the Arab region, this is not apparent. So mainly what this says is that in the Arab region, bigger improvements in mobile technologies have been witnessed in the past year or so. The most dynamic countries that improved between last year and this year are number 1, Algeria. Then if we consider the ranking only, we're talking about Algeria, then Djibouti, Oman, Lebanon, Egypt, and Mauritania. But if we're talking about the IDI value, we see that countries such as Oman, Kuwait, Lebanon, and Morocco have also had great improvements. I won't go through the details of the specifics on the areas that they've improved specifically for Algeria and Oman, but you can get the sense that middle-income countries have improved in the past year or so. Also, this is the ranking for the Arab countries in order. You can see that Bahrain is the most developed IDI country in terms of the IDI index. But also you can also notice that the Gulf countries in general are more developed than the rest of the Arab region. Middle-income countries are typically in the middle of the diagram. What you can also notice is that the Arab states average is higher than the developing states average, which is a big achievement. We're still below the global average, and there's still a big gap between the Arab region and the developed economies, as highlighted. There's a digital divide in that. Within the Arab region, you can also deduce from this graph that there is a big digital divide between Gulf countries and least developing countries, and also between middle-income countries. So the Management Information Society report also dives deep into analyzing emerging trends. Particularly when we're talking about emerging trends, we're talking about new technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data, cloud computing, and other factors. Internet of Things as well. These technologies will have a great impact on all sectors. Ranging from networking, pure ICT-related sectors, all the way to automotive industries, health industries, and so on and so forth. So it is estimated that the estimated global revenues in US dollars, obviously, will increase dramatically, as seen in the graph for Internet of Things, as seen in the table again, for Internet of Things, big data, public cloud, and artificial intelligence. You can see that the numbers are quite large. And this slide mainly demonstrates mainly the innovations that can be seen in each of these technologies. I won't dive into all of these. Obviously, you researchers have been working a lot with the cloud computing and other technologies, but what I can say is that in the coming years as well, you'll be working a lot with areas such as artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. Those will be more and more used in the research field, in my view. Through these new technologies, you can imagine that in the future, countries will be able to make bigger strides towards achieving the Sustainable Developing Goals, the 17 Sustainable Developing Goals adopted by the UN. Because of the great developments in different sectors, it will make it easier for governments to try to tackle issues such as poverty and hunger and health issues and education issues and stuff like that, making use of these new technologies for development. The only issue that needs to be flagged is that even though countries will have a bigger chance to achieve those SDGs, it is the countries that make use, the countries that have access and the skills required to utilize these ICTs who will be able to achieve this. Meaning that countries that don't do this or are not able to do this will fall behind, and hence the digital divide will increase in that regard. So it's important for all stakeholders of the international community to focus on empowering countries that might not have access to such technologies, might not have the skills to implement those technologies, and might not have the resources to implement those technologies. Finally, the Measuring Information Society report has a big section on country profiles where you can see details of ICT statistics relevant to each country. You can also compare different countries together in that report. It's quite a handy report. You can access the report online on the IT website through this URL for free. Also, there's a very handy IDI data visualization tool that researchers might find it interesting to also make use of. So this is in short what I wanted to highlight in this year's Measuring Information Society report. I'll be happy to take any questions if you have any. Thank you very much. So shall we take questions now or later?
Do you have any questions for Karim before he steps down? Well, anyways, at the end of the session, we can always do questions as well. Okay, thank you, Karim. The next session, that's session 3, is on e-infrastructures boosting education. So we will, our panelists will be discussing issues related on how the e-infrastructures would help or would support education in the Arab world. And I would like to invite on stage Richard French. And he will be talking about, is the global ASREN community ready to support transnational education? Richard comes from TNE, he's a TNE Business Development Manager from the UK. Welcome. Yeah.
Good afternoon. First, I'd like to thank ASREN for the opportunity to contribute to the conference. So this afternoon, I'd like to talk about the opportunity that we at GISC see for NRENs from around the world to work together to support global international education. So I'm going to share some of our experiences in supporting international education before looking at some emerging trends in that field, and then identifying some of the challenges currently facing NRENs looking to work across national borders to support education, and finally share some approaches which we've used successfully to work in partnership with other NRENs. So, who are GISC? So, I'm the TNE Business Development Manager at GISC, and GISC provides digital services and solutions for the UK education sector. And the British Council earlier this year published a piece of work to try and provide some clarity on this issue of definitions and names, and their definition of transnational education is useful. So they define it as the mobility of higher education programmes and institutions / providers across international borders. But fundamentally we're talking about students seeking to gain a foreign qualification without moving from their country of residence. But the British Council definition is good because it reflects what we see as the multi-directional nature of TNE. So in recent years, we're seeing a move away from, say, a more traditional model of country A delivering education in country B to more where there's more towards that collaborative type of activity in TNE, which is good for universities because they help share the risk and cost of any initiative. So, why is TNE important to universities? So we know from anecdotal evidence and supported with partners, talking with our partners from around the world, that global TNE is growing at a rate. Accurate data on TNE it isn't available because it's captured in countries differently, and there's no kind of single global body that captures all the data and produces reports on it. But if we take the UK as an example, where we've got access to data on TNE activity, in the last decade we've seen the number of students studying in the UK, studying for a UK qualification while based in another country, double. As you see from the graph, it's going in the right direction. And there are in fact 700,000 students studying for a UK qualification outside the UK, and this is almost double the amount of international students who are coming to the UK to study. So why do we think that TNE is relevant to ASREN? Because we see reliable, high-performance connectivity as fundamental to the successful delivery of TNE. And we believe that improving that technology that underpins TNE, we can improve the student and staff experience, so their access to learning environments, both home and in the overseas operations. So above the network connectivity, we see this whole host of things being supported by that. Sort of all aspects of the learning experience for the TNE student. And it depends on that reliable, high-performance connectivity, operating seamlessly between different countries and continents. And we want to focus on using the ASREN, the Network for Education, to support TNE. And we believe that the global community of ASRENs cooperating and working effectively in partnership can meet the demands of supporting greater levels of TNE which are forecasted for the coming years. So why is this relevant to ASRENs in the ASREN region? Well, all indications are that TNE activity in the region is set to increase in the coming years. We know that it's not just UK universities that have a presence here or partnerships here. You know that the region has links to lots of other places around the world. Now, the information I've got on the slide here is that we're aware it's only a partial picture of the TNE activity. We know there's a lot more happening. But again, if we take the example of UK figures, which we're able to access, we approximate that there's about 50,000 UK TNE students in the region. And they're generally, in Egypt there's about 18,000, in Oman 17,000, in UAE 13,000, in Saudi Arabia 3,000. So if we look at Egypt, for example, that's the 5th largest host country for UK TNE students in the world. What we've seen over the last 3 years is about 35% increase in the number of UK TNE students. We know that the Egyptian government are currently in discussion with UUK, which is an organisation in the UK, to finalise an agreement about establishing UK international branch campuses in Egypt. So we see this as the number only increasing in the coming years. So what GISC have been doing for a number of years, we've been working in partnership with ASRENs and commercial providers around the world to improve connectivity for TNE students and staff. And that's been both on and off campus. And we just would like to use our experience in this area to work in partnership with ASRENs in the region to develop support for TNE over the coming years. So, sort of illustrate how we would like to work with ASRENs in the region. I'd like to use the example of how we worked with CERNET, the Chinese ASREN. We believe this approach can be adopted and replicated in the region. So, the Giant Network in the UK has historic direct peering links with CERNET, and we established a strategic alliance with CERNET in December 2013. And we were using the Orient Plus link, which was established by CERNET and GEONT. So after that strategic alliance, we were able to work in partnership with CERNET and provide support to UK universities operating in China. So with CERNET, we offer a bespoke service, working with the universities on a case-by-case basis. And this is a really important piece of work, which was just established this year. So with CERNET, we offer a GIST service. It's helped establish a special interest group looking at transnational education, which is made up of their members. This was established in February this year, and the group aims to address some of the common challenges, develop services and services packages to support TNE, and also to harmonise country approaches and ASREN collaboration to ease the delivery of TNE globally. So there's a couple of challenge areas which we've looked at. There's TNE data. As I sort of beginning to know, it's quite difficult to get a picture of what TNE is happening in different countries, and that could help guide where our support should be. Also, the kind of strategic challenge is looking at global TNE policies. So how do we develop consistent policies to support TNE as ASRENs? There's the operational challenge, so about interoperability, measurement, and what potential service bundle could look like. And then there's tools and toolkits and resources. So what would we need to develop to help us share information? So those are the challenge areas. So this group, as I said, was informed earlier this year. We don't have the answers to that question, but we are open to members. So if you're interested in joining, just come and find myself and my colleague, Bai Wang, and we're happy to provide more information. If you want to find more information on the special interest group, that's the link there. You can also go to the GIST website where we've got some case studies. I've got a link on the next slide. So I'll finish there really, just saying that if you're interested in developing support for TNE, then we at GIST are happy to help and provide detailed examples of how we've done it and support you. Myself and my colleague Dr. Bai Wang will be around for the next couple of days, so do come find us and speak to us if you're interested. But thank you for your time.
Well, that was perfect timing. Thank you very much. And we can take a few questions here, or we can do it at the end. But if anybody has a quick question, okay, then we're going to move on now to Muhammad Zayat from the Egyptian E-Learning University. He will be presenting on behalf of the president of the Egyptian E-Learning University, Dr. Yasser Dakouri, and we'll be talking about the initiative on innovation learning model to quality STEM teachers.
Thank you very much. It's really bad. It's open, you can find it as board here. This one. From here. It's EH, yeah.
That one? All right.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I would like to thank the session chair and other colleagues for giving me the chance to start earlier because of some other commitments. And I apologize, sincerely apologize for Ms. Suzanne Samir for taking your turn. Thank you for that. Okay. I can see that the conference has been focusing on infrastructure development and how to improve the enabling factors of getting more communication, getting more connected with others. During this presentation, I will speak about, let's call it an application of how to use infrastructure to provide more access to education through the Egyptian e-learning university innovative learning model, and how this model is planned to be used to qualify STEM teachers or STEM education teachers in order to prepare them to transfer knowledge to more and more generations in the years to come. I will start by like an institutional framework of the university. The Egyptian e-learning university has started actually based on the presidential decree number 233 for the year 2008 to be the first e-learning university, or the first university to provide higher education opportunities through e-learning and ICT. The main objectives of the Egyptian e-learning university is to provide quality learning, to provide flexible opportunities or access to flexible learning opportunities, also to qualify high quality graduates equipped with 21st century ICT skills and other transversal skills, and also to represent an e-learning research hub that could help, let's say, face or overcome some of the challenges that we face in Egypt because of very crowded higher education system. The current program for this academic year includes 3 main faculties: Faculty of Information Technology, Faculty of Business Administration, and Faculty of Educational Studies. And all of these faculties include something like 9 or 10 programs that vary between undergraduate and postgraduate degrees. We plan to open some future programs like math communication, like engineering and technology, like languages and translation, like economics and political sciences, and a school of law in the near future. What we do at ELU is actually using ICT tools and ICT infrastructure to connect students from different geographical locations into our learning systems, so they can access materials, access learning sessions, access virtual classrooms. So our ultimate objective is to provide accessible and flexible higher education opportunities. Also, this kind of educational opportunities best suits people who are adult learners, especially postgraduate studies, because of their occupied schedules, and they are not fully dedicated for learning and pursuing postgraduate degrees. So this flexible opportunities to education through e-learning systems and e-learning technologies actually is the best match, or the perfect match, for people with busy schedules. This is the educational model that we use. We depend on 3 main pillars: face-to-face communication, especially for undergraduate students in the practical parts, using lectures and practical sessions within learning centers across different geographical areas in Egypt. So we have like a learning center in Cairo, another learning center in Tanta in the middle of the Delta, and another learning center in Upper Egypt in Asyut University. And we are planning to open another one in Alexandria, and one more in far Upper Egypt in Qina. So for the activities that needs face-to-face communication or hands-on training, it take place within the learning centers. The other pillar, which is distance learning tools, we use learning management system to provide the learning materials and all learning activities to students. We communicate with them on weekly basis using virtual classroom systems, and the assessment, or let's call it self-assessment activities, takes place using e-assessment tools. But according to the legal requirements within Egypt, according to the Supreme Council of the Egyptian University, meet administration and can meet academic representatives and lecture and instructor, things like that. They can meet with them at least once every week in each subject materials that they are enrolled in. We use, as you can see, we use different tools for the teaching and learning services. We have learning management systems. We use e-courses, we have an e-course for each subject that is delivered or taught at each academic program. We also use video conferencing, virtual classroom system, documents and videos library, and an e-assessment system. For student support services, we rely on an online portal, e-admission and registration portal, e-mailing system, internet access within university locations, and e-gradebook that students can access anytime to check their own performance. For the university administrative management, we use University Management Information System and Students Database, Document Workflow, and Financial Management System. Okay, let's go to the main idea of this presentation, which is STEM education. We are proud to be a part of a project, a big project, that is a cooperation between several universities in Egypt and in European Union. This project is funded through Erasmus Plus program, and it aims to developing a new generation of STEM teachers in Egypt capable of providing adequate and innovative teaching in science, technology, math, and engineering. We believe that these sciences are the locomotive for any kind of development and for any kind of growth, and therefore we aim to equip teachers with this kind of education and knowledge in order to transfer it and use it and blend it within their teaching and instructional activities. Okay, let's have a look on the content of the courses. To be quick, first we need to respect our partners: Ain Shams University, Nile University, Alexandria University, Glasgow Caledonian University in the UK, KTH, Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, the Ministry of Communication in Egypt, Ministry of Education in Egypt, Masr al-Khair, which is an NGO that works in human development, and Latvia University, also from Europe. The main outcomes of the project is to complete or implement a survey, which is already done, a survey and benchmarking report of STEM practices around the world, from the UK, from the US, from Europe, from the Arab region. Also to create higher education diploma program in STEM education, to develop a STEM resources center for teachers to practice how to do science projects with their students. Also some training and prepare some training modules for the instructors, and finally to accredit the diploma program within Egypt and within the EU. Here is like a quick structure of the courses. So we have some core courses to equip teachers with the main basic ideas: introduction to STEM education, learning theories, managing multimedia projects, e-learning technologies, engineering design processes, technological tools for teaching and learning. These are the core modules that every teacher will study. For two specialties, science or math, they will study project-based learning in the field of science, science learning resources in the field also science. For the math, project-based learning, and also math learning resources. So what we need to do is to try to equip teachers with the needed qualification, needed skills, in order to start embedding the STEM education methodology into their instructional activities within classrooms for the primary level and the preparatory level in education in Egypt. Finally, I would like to invite you to attend and submit some proposals for abstracts, for some paper or presentations at our ELU Next conference in June, which is held under the name STEM Education in Knowledge Society, and you can easily access the website via icel.eelu.edu.eg. Thank you very much and have a nice conference. Any questions? Questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Muhammad, for your presentation, and I would like to call next Suzanne Samir. Suzanne is the head of Educational Services Section, Bibliotheca Alexandria, Egypt. She's going to be talking about the role of libraries, dissemination of technology in the education process. I have some presentations here as well. Which one is it? 2? No?
How much this role of this library was very creative to create the basis of all science. Also, the one of Pergamon was very well known and had rivalry with the Library of Alexandria too. Also, Beit al-Hikmah, or the House of Wisdom in Arabic, had many work of translations and scientists well known. So, through the previous slides, we can see the strong relation between education, research, and libraries. So we know now that qualified education is created through qualified libraries, as seen. Therefore, library's mandate is to provide knowledge to all people at all times for free. And in order to make this, we have many categories of libraries to serve all categories of public. So we have national libraries, public libraries, academic libraries, school libraries, special libraries, and all those libraries are working to serve the general public and academics and also students. So in Egypt, as with reference to the library directory statistics, we have 1,342 public libraries and 482 academic libraries and 527 special libraries. All those libraries must be connected to serve the entrance goals. And we have in the Library of Alexandria implemented one of the UNESCO programs for information literacy that in order to help students and researchers to give them the opportunities to have access to knowledge. This was in 2003 that we were involved in the Library of Alexandria with this program, and then we had Alexandria Proclamation in 2005 with the Lifelong Learning, Digital and Information Society. Then we began our teaching and learning methods for general public in the library and students through many programs for general public, for students. One of the statistics for 2017, we had received in our programs 1,300 undergraduate and postgraduate students. Also, we have Egyptian and non-Egyptian students included in those programs. We have offered 2 trainings for teachers and from public and private schools. Also, information professionals were included in our programs, and we served 302 information professionals this year. And therefore, we have to extend and develop our mission. We have created an e-learning platform this year in January 2017. We have now 506 accounts. We have 20 modules through the platform and in 3 languages, Arabic, English, and French. It's a free e-learning platform through a public library, and this is very new to a public library. In this platform, the courses are oriented to help all kinds of users. There are orientation sessions for general public. There are intermediate level concerning the information literacy and how to get accurate information, and advanced level and the NC in France. So now the library is in a transition between the old science, and now we are speaking about the virtual services. So we can't speak about how many books we have in the library. We must speak about how many services we can have through a library, and virtual services to be to have more public. So we must be prepared for this generation. The goal and education is the fourth goal of the UNESCO 2030 agenda, and this for this. Therefore, we have implemented the e-learning platform, so we can go through this platform to many users. And therefore, too, we have to include the libraries in the ASREN. And we have, I don't know if we can say that we have Learn, so National Libraries Education and Research Networks. So the levers of the Learn will be strong infrastructure, e-infrastructure, and high connectivity. So connecting with other libraries will allow us to have more educational programs than we have now, and to spread also the experiences of all the libraries in the region and Africa and all worldwide. So thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. If you'd like to add some more, you still have some time. My understanding is that these are two different things.
Yes, but I'm saying Koha is more associated with...
Koha is a library search engine. Yeah. Yes, please.
May I comment on the question? Koha is a library management system.
Exactly.
Sorry, for cataloging, for the prepared data for the libraries, but the model is learning management system.
Course management, yeah.
What are the open source software?
So model it's used to have sessions and lectures or courses.
For library, for cataloging, searching, you are using which application?
Here it's not, it's virtual. We have in the library of Google, it's virtual. But here it's not about cataloging.
This is about learning system. Model is a learning system, like Blackboard, like others, deep or space.
E-learning is automatic, it's new service.
What I'm saying, for library, for cataloging, search, you are using virtual?
Yes.
It's open source also?
No, it's free.
Other questions on libraries in Egypt? Yes, please.
We are preparing some agreements now to have to put on the platform what we need in under agreement with the authors, like Creative Commons license. We will deal with this very soon.
Any other questions? We still have maybe a minute. Okay, well, thank you very much, Suzanne. Now we move on to Rami Zaki Iskandar. And Rami is the director of National E-Learning Center, Supreme Council of Universities in Egypt. And he'll be talking to us about the e-learning in the Egyptian public universities overview and future perspectives.
تجيب العملية دي. حطيتها بس. شو أنا سؤال؟ رمز كان مكتوب يعني.
مساء الخير. أنا رامي اسكندر، مدير المركز القومي للتعلم الإلكتروني بمجلس ساعة الجامعات. النهارده طبعا بشكر رئيس الجلسة وبشكر الدكتور يوسف على الدعوة الكريمة للحضور في المؤتمر. أنا هتكلم بسرعة عشان الوقت برضو طبعا. هو قفل خالص. ماشي. لا خلاص هو فتح خلاص، هو بيتكلم على الشاشة.
Yeah, but it's a bit sensitive.
طب انا هتكلم عقبال ما يخلص الموضوع. المركز القومي للتعلم الالكتروني بدا فكرته من حدود 2004 2005. ابتدينا ننشئ بنيه تحتيه في 22 جامعه، انشانا اكثر من 22 مركز تعليم الكتروني في كل جامعه مصريه. مراكز التعلم الالكتروني دي هي المسؤوله عن انتاج المقررات الالكترونيه. المركز القومي اللي انا بديره هو المسؤول عن الكواليتي بتاع الكورسات، عشان احنا اهم حاجه قبل ما ننشر يكون عندنا ستاندردز وكواليتي نشتغل عليها عشان تخرج الكورسات على مستوى عالي. الفيجن بتاعتنا طبعا ان احنا عايزين نبقى بيت خبره في التعليم الالكتروني على المستوى المحلي والاقليمي والدولي، ونخدم المجتمع مش الطلبه بس، بحيث ان احنا يكون في استفاده من المركز القومي للتعلم الالكتروني. زي ما الشاشه طبعا بتقول دلوقتي ان احنا زي ما قلت قبل كده ان احنا انشأنا 22 مركز انتاج مقررات الكترونيه. عندنا تقريبا فرق عمل بيصلوا في حدود 300 فرد، مكونين من 44 انستراكشن ديزاينر، مصمم تعليمي وجرافيك ديزاينر وديفلوبر ومنسق تدريب. اهم حاجه عندنا ان احنا ندرب اعضاء التدريس والطلبه على ازاي يديروا العمليه التعليميه في الاي ليرنينج. احنا ممكن نعمل اي ليرنينج كتير وممكن نعمل كورسات كتيره، بس عدم كفايه استاذ او عضو هيئه التدريس انه يستخدم نظام اداره التعلم ممكن يعمل فشل كبير في التعليم الالكتروني. ويمكن دكتوره سوزان برضو كانت معايا دلوقتي من شويه، كان في سؤال بخصوص الموديل. احنا فعلا بنستخدم الموديل وكل اعضاء التدريس في الجامعات المصريه بتستخدم الموديل، وحاولنا كان بلاك بورد حاول يخش معانا ان هو يستخدم البلاك بورد ونطبقه على جميع اعضاء التدريس في الجامعات المصريه، بس التعاقدات خفنا ان هي تختلف فتره، نيجي ندربهم سنتين ثلاثه وبعد كده يتلغي التعاقد نرجع تاني للموديل. فتقريبا اعضاء التدريس في مصر والطلاب حتى الموديل بالنسبه لهم واضح وبيستخدموه بقى لهم 10 سنين تقريبا، فالدنيا بالنسبه لهم اسهل شويه، وهو طبعا اوبن سورس. يعني دي فكره ان احنا بنستخدمه اكتر في الشغل بتاعنا. يعني انشانا برضو مكتبه وسائط رقميه، ودي كانت فكرتها جديده ويمكن اللينك بتاعها موجود فوق. المكتبه ديت طبعا بعيده عن المكتبه في اسكندريه، يعني دي حاجه ثانيه لوحدها خالص. احنا دايما بنشوف عضو هيئه التدريس بيكون عنده مجموعه برزنتيشن، مجموعه فيديوهات، مجموعه ساوندز، بس كل دكتور في جامعته اللي بيستفاد منه الطلبه بتوعه بس. احنا فتحنا المكتبه دي لكل اعضاء التدريس يرفعوا اي ماتيريال زي فيديوهات زي PDF ايا كان ايه الملف اللي عنده مهم، بحيث كل الطلبه المصريه، وعلى فكره بتخدم العالم العربي كله والعالمي كله. احنا فاتحينها للعالم كله مجانا، مش الطلبه المصريين بس يعني. فدي كانت فكره كويسه قدرنا نستفاد منها ونفيد فيها المجتمع. طبعا احنا بنعمل ورك شوب تقريبا سنوي لفرق العمل واعضاء التدريس، بحيث ندربهم على الموديل وازاي بندربهم برضو كمان الفرق العمل على الانتاج الاحدث، ونضع معايير جديده كل سنه بحيث تتماشى مع الاتجاه العالمي. ودي يمكن اللي بتخلي فكرنا ومقرراتنا والكورسات بتاعتنا متغيره. التدريس عن التعليم الالكتروني بشكل عام. بعد كده بناخد المحتوى بنقيمه من 2 اساتذه من جامعات مختلفه مفترض ان هم ما يعرفهاش اصلا، بيقيموا المحتوى جيد ويستحق ان هو ينتج كمقرر الكتروني، فبننتجه بعد كده من خلال فرق العمل الموجوده في جامعته بحيث ان احنا ما نتعبوش. بعد كده بيحصل تدريب زي ما قلنا للطلبه اعضاء التدريس ان هم ازاي يستخدموا الاي ليرنينج والنظام اداره التعلم عشان نحقق النجاح اللي احنا عايزينه. في الجامعات المصريه هنا او احنا في المركز القومي اي مقرر بننتجه بيستخدم في ال 22 جامعه، يعني مش لازم مقرر امتى في جامعه القاهره يشتغل بس في جامعه القاهره، لا احنا ما بنكررش الكورس تاني، بس بنقدر نشغله اكتر من مره، يعني ممكن مقرر يشتغل 22 مره في 22 جامعه. فدي من الحاجات برضو الكويسه اللي احنا بنحاول نشتغل عليها. احنا تقريبا انتجنا اكتر من 700 اي كورس، فول اي كورس لمختلف القطاعات العلميه. طبعا احنا استخدامهم وصل لاكثر من 4000 مره، زي ما قلت انا بكرر الكورس مره واثنين وثلاثه، هو كورس واحد. تقريبا احنا عدينا في حدود 800000 ستودنتس، ان احنا اشتغلنا على 800000 طالب. تقريبا سنويا بنعدي، يعني ابتدينا نوصل لحدود من 300000 لنص مليون طالب سنويا ان احنا بنشتغل عليهم. ويمكن الانفراستراكشر بتاعتنا احنا ما اشتغلناش حتى هذه اللحظه كلاود، بس بالنسبه لنا بنشتغل على سيرفرات شبكه الجامعات المصريه. وحتى لما حاولنا نتواصل مع موديل نفسها بره، قلنا لهم احنا بنعدي بنص مليون، قالوا لنا ازاي انتوا بتعدوا نص مليون؟ احنا ما حصلتش قبل كده في حته ان حد بيعدي نص مليون طالب على السيرفرات. بس احنا الحمد لله في شبكه الجامعات المصريه قدرنا نحقق العدد الكبير ده. طبعا احنا تقريبا وصلنا لحوالي 6000 عضو هيئه تدريس بيطبقوا الكورسات دي سنويا، وده عدد كويس بالنسبه للشغل. انشانا الفتره دي السنه دي يمكن اول منصه مفتوحه وسائل الانتشار المبيعات الالكترونيه اي جي موكس، وهو برضو اللينك بتاعها موجود فوق. هي لسه احنا بنرفع دلوقتي عليها كورسين، عملنا 2 كورسز، واحد خاص بالتمريض اسعافات اوليه والثاني خاص بالحاسب الالي، وهو مقدمه في الحاسب الالي. ويمكن كنت سامع النهارده اللي هي محو الاميه الرقميه، وده يمكن احنا بنزق ده لمحو الاميه الرقميه، ان اي حد هيدخل عليه هيقدر يتعلم حاسب آلي، حتى الاسعافات الاوليه اي شخص فينا ممكن يحتاج اسعافات اوليه. المنصه دي المفترض ان هي اكاديميه، هترفع عليها كل الكورسات بتاعتنا، برضه تخدم العالم كله مجانا. بس هدفنا برضه حاجه ثانيه غير الاكاديمي، ان احنا بنخدم المجتمع، بنحاول نشوف ايه الكورسات اللي تخدم المجتمع في الزراعه، في الصناعه، في الاسعافات، في الكمبيوتر. يعني مش عايزين كله يبقى اكاديمي، حتى هنعمل فيها كمان تجارب علميه بعيدا عن الكورسات، بحيث ان اي حد عنده تجربه علميه يقدر يعرضها عليه والعالم كله يستفاد منها. يمكن دكتور احمد حسن كان اتكلم في اللقاء الاولاني بتاعه الانجلش فور لايف، احنا انتجنا 2 كورسز للانجلش فور لايف. الكورسات دي احنا بنتعلم بيها اللغه الانجليزيه زي ما هو قال، عشان سوق العمل الطلبه عندنا شاطرين بس اللغه ممكن تكون مشكله بالنسبه لهم، فعملنا 2 كورسز انجلش فور لايف. دول بيعلموا اللغه الانجليزيه من المواقف الحياتيه، مش مجرد جرامر والشكل التقليدي بتاع تعليم اللغه، لا هو مختلف شويه. حقوق الانسان ده مقرر جديد احنا بننتجه حاليا مقرر حقوق الانسان. ده هيبقى كله اي ليرنينج فول اي كورس، مش هيبقى فيه كتاب مع الطالب، هو هيكون الاي كورس بيفتحه على الانترنت. والحاجه الثانيه هيكون فيه فيس تو فيس، يعني هنشتغل نظام بليندد ليرنينج بس مفيش اي كتب، ولازم معلوماته في نفس المجال. مفيش اي حاجه بنقدر نعملها من غير ما نعمل تقويم ليها، فاحنا تقريبا سنويا بنعمل تقويم لاعضاء التدريس والطلاب عشان نعرف اذا كان احنا الشغل بتاعنا بيحقق نجاح او بيجد فشل، بنحاول نعدله على طول. الفيجن بتاعتنا دلوقتي طبعا احنا فرق العمل بتاعتنا مهما انتجت عمرها ما هتنتج كورسات الجامعات كلها. بدانا بالفعل بتدريب اعضاء التدريس في بعض الجامعات كبايلوت. ابتدينا يمكن بجامعه المنصوره في كليه تمريض وكليه طب اسنان اللي هم بعيد عن الكمبيوتر خلاص، عشان نتاكد ان الدكاتره هتعرف تنتج ولا لا. استخدمنا اوسن تولز جديده اسمها اوفيس ميكس، بتتحط على الباوربوينت لاعضاء التدريس كلها بتشتغل بالباوربوينت، احنا كلنا بنشتغل بالباوربوينت. بنحط قائمه جديده اسمها اوفيس ميكس بيقدر يسجل محاضرته. ويمكن انا شفت من شويه كان في حد بيعرض حاجه فيها فليبت كلاس روم، وهي دي فكرتنا ان احنا نعرض المحاضرات بتاعتنا قبل ما نروح المحاضره، بحيث المحاضره نفسها بنمارس فيها العلم مش بنتلقى منها العلم. فده فكر جديد، والدكاتره فعلا التزمت وفعلا ابتدت تدي كورسات معانا. برضو ان احنا طبعا الفكر بتاعنا برضو كله اغلب اعضاء التدريس اللي هيبتدوا ينتجوا معانا بعد كده هنرفع على موكس، وموكس ده اللي هو اي جي موكس اللي احنا المنصه اللي احنا انشاناها. اي جي موكس دي مرفوعه على كلاود تبع مايكروسوفت، اي عدد مش هتفرق معانا، ملايين يخشوا عليها برضو مش هتفرق معانا. احنا طبعا بنحاول ندرب اعضاء التدريس على البليندد ليرنينج. انا خلاص فاضل شريحه واحده خلاص. اخر حاجه بس احنا طبعا بنوصي بالاهتمام بالبنيه التحتيه سواء في الجامعات المصريه او في مصر كلها. محتاجين ان كل طالب كل شخص في مصر يكون عنده انترنت، يقدر يحصل على الانترنت بسعر رخيص وبسرعه عاليه عشان نحقق الهدف بتاعنا. من غير انترنت مفيش تعليم الكتروني، واعتقد مفيش مكتبه ومفيش اي حاجه. الانترنت لو وقف عندنا في اي دوله اعتقد هتبقى الدوله فيها مش شايفه اي حاجه يعني. شكرا واسف للطول. في اسئله؟ اوكي.
Arabic? Okay.
EGMOX? EGMOX, yeah. الإيجي موكس عموما احنا بنرفع كل الكورسات بتاعتنا على منصه مفتوحه للعالم كله. بعضها المجتمع هيستفاد منه ان هو هيخش يشوفها براحته، بعضها الدكتور اللي عايز يطبق المقرر بتاعه يبقى نعمل له جروبس وبعد كده ناخد درجات ويبقى في تقارير عن كل حاجه بيعملها عشان يقدر يدي درجات عليها. دي خاصه بالمجلس على الجامعات هيبتدي يحققها العضويه التدريس. يبقى احنا شغالين في اتجاهين. حتى 700 كورس هنختار منهم في حدود 300 او 400 كورس اللي هم المهمين هنرفعهم على ايجي موكس بعد كده. هو كل كورسات المجلس على الجامعات والجامعات هي فولي كورس كامله، يعني لو حصل اي حاجه وما حد الطلبه مش قادر تروح الجامعه هتتفتح الكورسات دي فولي كورس. تمام. هقول لحضرتك على حاجه، احنا طبعا يمكن بس دي عايزه وقت شويه. احنا في تعليم مفتوح في مصر يمكن اغلقناه من حوالي سنتين، فتحناه دلوقتي بنظام جديد اسمه التعليم الالكتروني المدمج او التعليم المدمج بلندد ليرنينج. ده لان العالم كله يعني اكد ان الفولي كورس او التعليم الالكتروني بشكل كامل مش هيحقق النتيجه اللي احنا محتاجينها. ويمكن كل الدول الفرنكوفونيه اللي احنا رحنا معاهم وفرنسا وبيروت وكل الدول تقريبا اللي عندنا عليها كلهم عندهم نفس المشكله. البلندد ليرنينج اهم من الفولي كورس ان انا اشتغل ليرنينج بشكل كامل. فاحنا دلوقتي بالنسبه لمجلس اعلى الجامعات احنا خطوه ان احنا بنحاول الناس كلها تعرف البلندد ليرنينج الاول، وان في حاجه اسمها تعليم الكتروني. القواعد عندنا والقوانين بيبقى صعب ان احنا نعتمد ان الطالب في مصر يبقى قاعد في بيته مثلا ويمتحن الكورس بتاعه وياخد الشهاده. هتبقى صعبه شويه بالنسبه لنا في الفتره الحاليه، بالاضافه ان البنيه التحتيه حتى بتاعتنا في الجامعات المصريه لسه فيها مشكله. ان احنا لو قلنا عايزين نمتحن الطلبه كلهم في جامعه ما ايا كانت الجامعه حتى اكبر الجامعات المصريه هنلاقي مشكله مفيش اجهزه او الاجهزه مش شغاله او عندنا مشكله في الانترنت، عندنا مشاكل كتير لسه في البنيه التحتيه. فاحنا لغايه دلوقتي يعني احنا نحاول بس ان احنا ندرس بالتعليم الالكتروني، لكن الفاينل اكزام ده لازم يكون ورقي لحد كبير بايا كان شكل الاختبار. ان شاء الله يكون بالسكانر، نحاول ناخد اللي هو يكون اختبارات موضوعيه وهكذا بحيث ان الدنيا تبقى اسهل شويه. لكن احنا نوافق على ان الطالب يمتحن في اي مكان بدون رقابه او يكون اختبار غير مقنن بيبقى فيه شك شويه. فاحنا حتى هذه اللحظه بيبقى صعب، لان احنا انتوا عارفين يمكن بره ولا حاجه ممكن الطالب يكون باصص للكاميرا وفي برامج معينه تبين اذا كان هو بيغش ولا بيغشش بيبص ولا ليها نظام، بس احنا حتى هذه اللحظه ما وصلناش لهذا يعني التكنولوجي. هل في اسئله ثانيه؟ شكرا.
Thank you, Rami. And now I would like to call Iman Abu al-Mali.
Thank you very much. And the last presentation, I hope that my presentation is not boring. ASREN and Library Consortia towards an effective and collaborative relationship. We have the contents are reflecting the title, is reflecting the title about IFL. We know about IFL as an organization. ASREN's, their roles, services, challenges, and Library Consortia, their roles, services, and challenges. And the objective of the presentation is how to to get an effective and collaborative relationship between the two organizations. We start with IFL. IFL is electronic information for libraries. It works with libraries to enable access to knowledge for education, learning, research and sustainability, and sustainable community development. They work in, IFL works in 54 developing countries, in transitional countries. In Europe, Middle East, Asia, Pacific, Africa, Latin America, as you can see in the map. And they have many programs. It's a non-profit organization. It has many programs like licensing programs, copyright, library programs, open access, public library innovation, and the most well-known is General Assembly that gathers all the librarians from these countries, and they learn from each other, they network and learn from each other. The second point is about the ASREN. We all know that an ASREN is the National Research and Education Network. We have many presentations. Service hosting, we'd like to focus on what benefits the libraries here is access to digital library resources and web hosting. But there are challenges, also mentioned in many presentations, funding and competition from telecom operators. This is in the developing countries only, maybe. And lack of awareness among decision makers of how the internet works and what value added an ASREN can bring to higher education. This is very important in the Arab world and in Africa. There are also challenges concerning the relation to public policy priorities and to adapt to the new encouraging technologies. Now, we can go to library consortia and its definition. We know that a library consortium is a group of libraries that work together to achieve common goals. It's a consortium, so they want to help its members to get some benefits. So roles and services include reduction in the cost of resources, and ability to negotiate favorable terms and conditions of use, expansion of service and resources, sharing of staff skills, capacity building, and increased effectiveness of advocacy for policy change. They have the IP coordinator, is intellectual property coordinator. In each country there should be one, in the university should be one, to help the researchers to understand intellectual property issues. This is for example. And there are challenges facing the library. These challenges include, I quoted this from a presentation for Victoria Okoji from the Nigerian ASREN, or he works for IFLA, the International Organization for Libraries, and he mentioned needs, but I consider them as challenges to provide effective access to electronic resources, curate local intellectual property, facilitate research workflows, open access and open science as new trends. So I just wanted to go through these to reach the objective of our presentation, how to get an effective and collaborative relationship between the two organizations. So we need to put this into a map just to see what are the similarities and what are the differences. The ultimate goal is supporting high quality education and research in the country. This is a goal for the two organizations. So they share the same goal, the ultimate goal. They share it, and they share the community members. They serve the same members. They serve the academic and research institutions, researchers, teachers, and students. So they have two issues to make them. They should collaborate. They should collaborate. So how? We need to differentiate between the two organizations. We would like to know what are the services provided to the ASRENs and what are the needs of the library consortium. We start with the services provided by the ASREN. It's everywhere. I searched the internet about this collaboration. I found one challenge is written everywhere in each report, in each research paper is that connectivity. Libraries need connectivity. It's not only connectivity, but it's one of the most important services, connectivity, bandwidth, data center and cloud services. This is the service provided by the ASREN that is needed by the libraries. They need connectivity and bandwidth and reliably hosted repositories. And the second is deployment of IP addresses. This is always the service provided by the ASREN to member institutions, and it is needed for the library consortium to provide electronic sources via the static IP addresses. And authentication, authorization, infrastructure, this is provided sometimes by the ASRENs and needed, of course, for library consortium and many others. I just wanted to put the most important services and the most important needs. On the other hand, there are needs for capacity building. The library consortia and ASRENs provide this training on ICT. Needs of ASRENs and services provided by the library consortia. The ASRENs, of course, need expansion of services and resources. In the previous presentations, we hear that it's not only connectivity, it's not only a network. There are services, they should be there. So ASRENs need expansion of services and resources, and this is provided, of course, by the library. These resources are provided. We need data traffic. We can't just put connectivity, okay, and just let it empty. We need traffic on that cables. So content services are provided by the library consortium, and data service for research collaboration. Researchers should work in the right way, and this is provided by the librarians. They teach them about intellectual capacity, give them the research tools. So there are needs and services in both sides. We can go from here to, they have to hold meetings, but meetings, the protocols and communication structure, and develop an MOU, any type of legal document for this partnership after defining the TOR, the terms of reference. The third point is implementation. This is where we can say this is an effective and collaborative relationship. It can be unless we have clear and honest communication, clear and honest communication, transparency and trust. The last slide, it's about, just as a very quick example, SUDREN and the libraries, they started with shared goals to build institutional repositories in Sudan. The first institutional repositories, 3, started with 3 and now they are 20. To found the library consortium. So they started with this team, with a leadership, and a small team consisting of CEO of SUDREN, senior librarians, ICT directors, that was in 2011. And the meetings with documentation, feedback, set the goals. Then the shared goals goes to the second step, is founding the SALC, the Library Consortium, Sudanese Academic Library Consortium. They involve the stakeholders, and SALC now is a registered organization under the umbrella of the Association of Sudanese Universities and NGO, and now ICT experts who were members of the SUDREN are now in the SALC Advisory Committee. And if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This is an African program. Thank you. Questions?
Any questions? Okay, it looks like we're coming to the end of the session.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wali, and thank you, our speakers. So by this, today we finish our presentations, our sessions. We are left with the shareholders meeting for ASREN. It's open, you are invited. It will be at upstairs, maybe in 15 minutes time from now. But for tomorrow, I will be sharing with you a new agenda, because some people did not show up. The other thing that, please, when you leave the room, take everything for your belongings with you, because it will be used in maybe at 7 o'clock. There will be another meeting, another activity. So don't leave anything for you in this room. The other thing for tomorrow, please come with your badge. It will be easier for you to get in the NAS rather than to do the other things. Any other? Yeah, yeah. So, come with your badge tomorrow. If you don't have the badge, please take it before you leave. And take all your belongings with you because this room will be used in at 7. There's another activity. Another thing? So, for tomorrow we'll be starting at 9. So please be here at 9. We have a new. I will, as I said, we will share a new agenda with you. And thank you for coming and for your patience. I know people are tired from travel and from. Is IT around? So we have a new partnership with ITU. They are now we are members, official members of academia in ITU, and for this purpose we have the pleasure to give a shield for ITU represented by our colleague Karim Abdulghani. So Karim, please.
So, thank you very much, Dr. Turman, and for ASREN for this plaque. We are really delighted to have ASREN as a ITU member, ITU academia member. I think earlier this year you registered to be members, and I hope that ASREN reaps full benefits from becoming members in the ITU as academia. If you're not aware, ITU has several membership categories. Member states, sector members, which includes private sector companies and industrial organizations. And then in the past years, a third category was open for academia, where academia institutions globally can become members of the ITU. Special programs, special activities are catered towards academia, but in addition, academia get full access to all of the ITU activities globally. So we're happy that ASREN is one of the latest academia members regionally, and we hope more to follow in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you. I need also, the reason behind joining ITU is that we want to collaborate also on how can they support us in the planning and implementation for the Arab Connect, which we already started the discussion early this year. Actually, that was December last year in Lebanon. So they advised that it's better that we go for membership. This will give us better position for them also to support us. We are now exploring how we can work together in supporting the initiative, and hopefully we will do something together. Thank you. So, thank you. It's closed.